The thing about the future is that it happens right now, and now, and now, and who we are can give a glimpse of who we will become. And should you have concerns or perhaps ways that you would rather be, the good news is this: in the glowing palm of the malleable present burns the invitation to your favorite self.
Please rise in body or spirit for this morning's opening hymn, Gather the Spirit.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the power.
Waiting. Let's start from the top and where we get the lyrics on the wall, please. Thank you so much. Start from the top. Thank you.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this life appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. gather in hope, compassion, and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion, and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion, and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge. My name is Reverend Chris Long, your Minister of Congregational Life. Whoop, whoop. My pronouns of choice are he, him, his. How are y'all doing this morning? Wonderful, awesome. I'm speculating that some of you might be holding on to a few feelings related to our election results from yesterday. And I hope you know this is a place where you can hold the emotions and feelings related to these issues. We can also think through how we might best continue to use our collective voices for more justice, peace, and liberation as we, say we, move forward. To those joining us on the live stream, a good morning to you and welcome as well. We are glad you continue to join us online. We hope you are doing well and taking good care of yourselves as you journey. If you are visiting us for the first time, we are glad you're here, and a good morning to you as well. Thanking you for joining us for worship. Please do join members and friends of the congregation in our reception area that's located out the door and to the left for coffee after the service. Announcements for this morning. During middle hour, Faith and Practice will be held in room 5. They will be discussing Samhain and Druidry, and Salvatore Collada will be leading those discussions. That will be in room 5. In room 6, we have Faith in Exploration, where we'll be looking at UU Theology, a cathedral of the world. That will be discussed during our Faith in Exploration. Today is also our monthly social justice team meeting, and that will be in room 7, and we have some justice making that is going to happen in room 7, and as always, all are welcome. What's happening next Saturday, y'all? UU Revival. Say it louder than that. UU Revival. UU Revival. What is that all about? Oh, I'm glad you asked. The UU Revival we're hosting Unitarian Universalists from across the state. This event will be bringing together Unitarian Universalists to continue to strengthen our voice as Unitarian Universalists in such times as these. The events will start in the morning with everyone who comes gathering to learn more about the history of Unitarian Universalism here in Louisiana. In the afternoon, each congregation will work in separate parts of the church on specific issues related to their congregation. I'm hearing there will be lunch. In the evening, there will be food, and I hear there's a talent show, and the question at hand is who of us you use in this congregation have talent? I only see one talented hand, come on. Oh, I can't see behind me yet. I'm working on my eyes behind my head. With that, we know we need more people to sign up for our talent show with seeing our congregational president, Jeff Gauger, or Debbie Duckworth to sign up for it. And we're also, turn the page, what am I supposed to say? Volunteers are needed to host. Are we still needing hosts? Host for housing, we don't need that anymore. Let's give it up for our church. We have hosted everybody that's come. And since you're so talented, please do plan to attend the revival weekend. Yes? Okay, good. Last but certainly not least, there is going to be a Halloween party. Who here knows when the Halloween party is? Woo! It'll be Saturday the 28th. Please, from 5 to 7 p.m., Kathy Smith, Canova Smith, and Warina Feister are looking for donations and offers to help. Please do reach out to either or all of those if you're able to volunteer or provide donations, and it promises to be loads of multi-generational fun. Again, good morning and welcome to this morning's worship service. We are glad you are here. What's happening also all throughout the month of October? Stewardship Pledge Drive. Stewardship Pledge Drive. Guess how many people or pledge units have come in so far? 40. 40 out of how many? 200 plus, but 40 is good. Guess how much we've raised? $140,000. And the same enthusiasm, we have 500 more thousand to go and we can get there, right? Yes, we have 500 because we're doing the work of this church, and it does take money because it's not coming from anywhere else but here in this beloved place. Throughout the month, we've also had members of the stewardship team come and share a testimonial about their experience. This morning, we have the great honor of having Johnny Parker come and share his testimony of why he is pledging and on the stewardship team. Let's give it up for Johnny Parker.
Good morning, Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge. I am happy to be here. Let me say it again. I am very happy to be here. There are many mornings where I am not here, but I am with you via YouTube. Many times when my father is sitting beside me there at the dining room table, having breakfast. Being online and having that presence is a gift to many of us. It was a gift to me during the pandemic. It kept me connected to many of you. It kept me connected to this community. It kept me sane. I will be ever grateful for that, for all the hard work that the people here at this church put into it. Many of those have been named before from the pulpit, but I thank you again for your continued efforts, your continued duty, and hard work and effort. I joined this church in 1991, seeking a sacred place and a new theology where I could begin a spiritual journey of healing in my personal and my family life. And wow, what a journey it has been. I could not know then how this church community, the people I've met, the friendships formed, would radically alter my views and my beliefs about myself to become the person I am today. I realized I was clueless of the mythology of meritocracy in which I was raised as a privileged white male, and the doors to opportunities that opened for me but not others whose skin was a different color, nor others whose sexual orientation differed from mine. This church is where I come to join others to learn and work together to overcome the forces that are trying to prevent the creation of a society built on the foundation of the 8 principles of Unitarian Universalism toward which I believe we're all striving. I'm grateful for the many groups that I participated in over the years that have helped me realize who I can be and who others in this church can be, with the help of all of us, sharing our lives, sharing our journeys, sharing our experiences. The branches groups, dialogue on race, anti-oppression study group, social justice group, and the associated teams there, the environmental group, the education group, women's reproductive rights in education. It is because of all of these groups, it is because of all of you that I choose to pledge. I believe we as a community are at a critical time, coming out of the pandemic, faced with all the changes that we read about in the newspaper every day, that we read about in the newspaper this morning, that will affect our lives and the lives of our loved ones. I'm concerned about the future. I'm grateful for the past. I am grateful for the people and the founders of this church, many of whom I was fortunate enough to meet and get to know in the early 90s after I joined this church. So I ask you and I ask myself, what can I do to keep this church going? Not only going and surviving, but thriving, to continue to make a difference in this community. And not just to continue, but to thrive, to do more, to get more done. How do we do it? I don't have the answers, but within this community, people do have the answers. And we are only limited by our creativity. We are only limited by our willingness to give to each other. For those pledging for the first time, I ask that you give from a place of desire, gratitude, and love, and above all, from a place of sustainability. For those who are continuing to pledge, thank you for your past pledges. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, we do have pledge forms, and you can go online if you are so inclined. Again, I'll ask the question that I've asked sometimes. Who here had a really, really good week? A few hands. What of you who had a really, really not so good week? A few of those as well. Or just a normal week, whatever that means. Some people have normal weeks. I don't even know what that means, so I have to talk to you all to learn what a normal week. Again, I ask this from time to time so we can bring all of our experiences to this place. Each week when we gather, we take pause. We take pause to breathe as a sacred community held together by our values, our commitments to each other, and to dance into the joys and struggles of our life. We do this through collective silence, meditation, or prayer. This morning's prayer: Spirit of life, universe, God, Gaia, Let us take pause in our service to honor the Homa and Bayagula peoples, indigenous communities whose lands we now inhabit. May we do the work necessary to be in deeper and right relationship with those still here of those communities. I would like to welcome into this space our individual and collective ancestors who made us all possible. What a week on local, national, and international levels. With the first and most difficult phase, I'd say, part of the election season done. May we hold fast to our resolve for more justice, freedom, love, peace, and beauty for all. One day, over a week after the start of the war in Gaza and Israel, I hold space and prayers for the end of the devastating brutality and inhumane treatments of civilians, most critically the impacts the war is already having on thousands of children there. For there are no easy answers in such complicated, long-standing divisions. I pray for peace through action where love can prevail. Extra thoughts and prayers to those here that are going through health issues, the passing of loved one, or who are settling with mental health issues and wellness matters that need our ongoing care. We are here holding you in our loving embrace. Even with all that is going on, there can and may there be moments where joy and beauty abound. During this hour of worship, may we open up to receive what may ease our troubles and add to joy. Ashe, Shalom, blessed be, Salam, may it be so and Amen. The sharing of stones ritual here at the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge is a time in our service where we take pause to come forth to share stones as we honor the joys and sorrows of our lives with this community. Visitors are always welcome to take part in this ritual. This week and every week, those who gather and sign the cards that are in our reception area. Today we have 8 cards to sign. First, we have 3 stones of condolence. Our first stone is on the passing of a beloved member of the church, Rebecca Cummings, who passed away in the early hours of the morning on Friday after engaging her last days and months of her life with deep courage. We will be sending a card to her sister, Linda Cummings, to share our sympathies. Next, our stone is for the passing of Sylvia Martinez's sister, Clyde Ann LeBlanc Davis. She passed away recently at the age of 91. Also, we share a condolence stone for the passing of the Reverend Michael Dowd. As some of you may remember, Ms. Maida Owens worked tirelessly to bring Reverend Dowd here for a full weekend this past March, which included a day-long visit to Houma, Louisiana, to be with our siblings of the Houma indigenous community there. He offered a presentation here on the opening for the weekend that was open to the community and shared his thoughts and his preaching that Sunday. He was an eco-theologian, a pro-science preacher. Sadly, we learned of his passing on September 7th after an accident. Reverend Dowd was 64 years old. We also have cards for members who we are holding in our thoughts for healing and continued support. one for Jerry Stewart. The next is for Julie Richard, as her brother Martin Richard had emergency hip surgery. We have two thoughts of congratulations, not stones, for congratulations. First, we congratulate Audrey Mae Allen, who was married this week to Wesley Tyler Hendricks. Let's give it up for a wedding. And we also have to lift up our 90-something birthday celebration. On October 7th, our Peggy Hunt celebrated her 92nd birthday. Do I sing one of three birthday songs? Which were the three? Just a regular one or a newer one? I want to say happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to you. This is a new part. Close your eyes, make a wish, think about it, and blow out the candle. Close your eyes, make a wish, think about it, and blow out the candles. Happy birthday to you. This is a song that's resonating in the African American community, and we shared it here at the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge. Let's give it up. Those who would like to take part in this ritual, please come forth, lining up on the east or west walls of our sanctuary. Our sharing of stones ritual begins. Let us say together our chalice lighting words. With hope to make this a better world, we light this flame. Its light is a symbol of the power of love.
From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung, through every land, by every tongue.
I now invite us all to rise in body or spirit as we sing the theme song for our pledge drive. We shall be known by the company we keep.
Shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we strive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. This church, as we know, is very generous in oh so many ways. One of the ways is that we share with great humility 1/2 of our monthly offering with the local organization. This month, our collected offering will be shared and has been being shared with Youth City Lab. Whoop, whoop. Youth City Lab is a shared space of learning, a physical space here in Mid-City that works with 4 organizations, Big Buddy, Front Yard Bikes, Humanities Amped. I was just chatting with someone who was on the board meeting for Humanities Amped this week, and I see, where do I see? There, back there, our Holly Haymakers on the board of Humanities Amped, woo! And line for line, which we learned as well, is haircuts are given to those young folks that are reading, and the barbers give those haircuts for free. They give this to support the honing of the voices of our young people so they get to self-determine the kind of future they want here in Baton Rouge and beyond. Visitors, please feel no obligation to give. We at this church are building on our financial giving as a spiritual practice. This morning's offering will be humbly accepted and shared in the same spirit. Please give as generously as you can. Will the ushers please come forward?
Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anyone to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth, and always feel that your life has ultimate significance.
What is the blueprint of your life? Melding the spiritual, religious blueprints of our lives here in this church community, and what are the depths of our spiritual, religious blueprints is the title and theme for this morning's worship service. Again, what is the blueprint of your life? Melding the spiritual, religious blueprints of our lives, and what are the depths of our spiritual, religious blueprints? Friends, my wish for this morning's worship is to invite us all, if we have not already done so, my wish is for us all to sit with these questions as possible or continued opportunities to explore and expand what spiritual, religious rigor we might continue to nurture within ourselves, here in this sacred place, and as we move into all the areas of our lives as sustainably as we can. The inspiration for today's service comes from a thread that ran across one of my many social media feeds of a speech Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered at Barrett Junior High School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on October 26, 1967, 5 months before his assassination. As stated in the speech, he thought it important to speak to those students on that day, even as he was in Philadelphia for any number of reasons, but wanted to spend some time with those gathered, especially with all that was going on with him and in the country at that time. Of particular note in his speech were 4 gems, philosophical, even theological gems, if you will. He left with them through his speech. The speech's title was, "What is Your Life's Blueprint?" This title rang so deeply within me that it left me thinking, what is the blueprint of my life? What is the blueprint of our lives? Thus leading to our exploration this morning. The first gem was shared through our first reading. Number 1 in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth, and always feel that your life has ultimate significance. The second gem, you must have a basic principle as the determination to achieve excellence in your field of endeavors, to set out to do it and to do it well. The third gem, Dr. King put forth in his day that I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of the man. And today I must add, the mind is the standard of the person. Again, the mind is the standard of the person. Towards the end of his speech, he shared, and finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to make you hate them. Don't allow anybody to cause you to lose your self-respect to the point that you do not struggle for justice. However young you are, and I add, no matter what age, you have a responsibility to seek to make your nation a better nation in which to live. You have a responsibility to seek to make life better for everybody. And so you must be involved in the struggle for freedom and justice. Now, in this struggle for freedom and justice, he wrote, there are many constructive things that we can all do and that we all must do. And we must not give ourselves to those things which will not solve our problems. Again, the gentle question, what is your life's blueprint? And how has or might this church be a place to build upon the sacred layers of your life, no matter how complicated or easy, towards even more wholeness in your own life's blueprint? Please rise and body your spirit for our next hymn, Building a New Way.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. I know I am. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Come on, take it home. Peace and freedom, oh, is our cry. Peace and freedom, oh, is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Oh, without these the world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry.
This ain't no juke joint. What are y'all doing? This ain't no juke joint.
They were feeling it.
They were feeling it. Sermon Part 2, Melding the Blueprints of Our Lives. Indeed, friends, we are every day building a new way. For we are working to be free. Who here working to be free?
Yeah, say it.
Who here is working to be free? I didn't get no amens. And may peace and freedom be our guide. Of course, each and all of us have many layers to the blueprints of our lives. Some of those layers are filled with pain, loss, confusion, complexity, and downright muck. Simultaneously, there can be joy, beauty, delight, and ecstasy overlaying even our most desperate moments individually and collectively. In thinking a bit more about our religious, spiritual, or scientific blueprints, what does make up your religious life? Be that blueprint of a pagan, a scientist, a lifelong Unitarian Universalist, non-believers, and all of the myriad of religious paths that lead you to this place, the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge. Although I find it true, we are often, if not always, building new ways, whether we like it or not. In being connected to this church, there are 7+ decades of theological, philosophical, and justice-making blueprints that our forebears and ancestors of this church worked to build. Amen? A blueprint rooted in a lot of sweat and tears and the labors of hundreds, if not thousands, of people. Many of you also work tirelessly to continue to manifest what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist in this church, in our larger community and world across for many decades now. And is this the end of our journey? There are literal archives room. Who here, again, I ask all the time, who has visited our archives lately? The brand new archives that just moved since the installation. There are photos, documents, sermons, our justice action in the community, memorial services, and celebrations of weddings to illustrate this church's significant blueprint. We are also working hard to ensure that with this history, we are keeping our arms and hearts wide open to meet and welcome those who come each week or who may be joining us over YouTube, to know that you too can become a part of this expanding, faithful blueprint called the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge and its members. So we are building on a long heritage, the deep-rootedness of Unitarian Universalism here in this place, in this community, and across the wider Unitarian Universalist denomination. As I see it, the continued ongoing spiritual, even religious task at hand, and being a member, a friend, and maybe becoming a member, or those still not so sure what Unitarian Universalism is, our task is to continue to work to understand where we are on our life's spiritual, scientific, religious journey. What has been or is at the core of what draws you, what draws us to keep us living and loving and aspiring as a church and faith tradition. Why, you may ask, do I ask this? I ask this with the hope of growing in our individual capacities to share where we are on our spiritual blueprints. Furthermore, so that we can grow even more intentionally in our capacities to articulate our individual and collective beliefs of our love of this church and our love of Unitarian Universalism and its values and principles for our work in the world. Amen? To continue to, or start if you are new at this, to be able to articulate for yourself and each other as a spiritual practice, what is it that you believe as a Unitarian Universalist and member of this church? As you know, we are a religious tradition and movement, if you will, that encourages and fosters spaces for us to work towards religious freedom for us all. Religious freedom for us all that is anchored in the use of reason, deep engagement in the teachings of science, and the many world's faith traditions and spiritual paths with even deeper integrity. How might we continue to understand ourselves and each other? What is our melding of our spiritual religious blueprints? What might that look like now and in the coming weeks, months to come? Again, the words of this morning's invocation by the Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. The thing about the future is that it happens right now, and now, and now, and who we are can give a glimpse of who we will become. And should you have concerns or perhaps ways that you would rather be, the good news is this: in the glowing palms of the malleable present burns an invitation to your favorite self.
Beloved, the world is on fire and kindling waiting in places sacred. But you and your love, full of hope and ready for change. You are water free to flow, to extinguish, to cover, and heal. Don't give up. The world is thirsty. There is no substitute. It feels impossible, and it is alone. Together, we are an ocean, crashing and mending in time.
The depths of our spiritual religious blueprint. That reading was shared with me this past week by a religious professional colleague of color, Jacaren Oleoya. She crafted these words, a theology to live by, I humbly believe. Beloved, the world is on fire and kindling, waiting in places sacred. But you and your love, full of hope and ready for change, you are water, free to flow, to extinguish, to cover and heal. Do not give up. The world is thirsty. There is no substitute. It feels impossible, and it is alone. Together, we are an ocean crashing and mending in time. I am forever grateful to be a part of a 4 centuries-old faith tradition that gives me the freedom through hard work, sustainable and faithful living as possible, to engage life through ongoing practices of justice-seeking, mercy, grace, and compassion, to continue to search for truth and meaning in this life, in the here and now, as often as we can. As a Unitarian Universalist, I do not get to believe anything I want to believe and be a Unitarian Universalist. Our faith asks us to do the soul work needed to dismantle the systems of oppression within ourselves and the systems with which we interact on a daily basis, the systems we swim in. Through our blueprint as Unitarian Universalist, our Unitarian Universalist covenant comes to life, and I love it so dearly. For this church is a church where we have religious freedom, maybe even responsibility, through our covenant together as Unitarian Universalists and members of this church to lift each other up, amen? To lift each other up, amen? As we examine and continue to meld our individual and collective religious blueprints, how deep might we grow in expressing just what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist in our day? Are we up to continuing to grow towards more what is possible? Yes. Are we up to continuing to grow towards what is possible? Yes. As we hear when we get on a plane, if we ever get to get on a plane, and I'm getting on a plane on Wednesday, what do they say when you're on the airplane for the safety? Put on your mask first. What does it mean to put on our spiritual religious mask first in the troubled times we see ourselves in? What might it mean for each and all of us to continue to navigate, interrogate, and nurture with gentleness and grace our own spiritual religious blueprints? Can we continue even through the fires of life? Can we, like water, lift each other and ourselves up? We must, and I know we can. Ashe, shalom, blessed be, salam, may it be so. And all the people said, Amen. Amen. Please rise now in body or spirit for our closing hymn. Lift my sister up.
I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up, she is not heavy. If I don't lift her up, if I don't lift her up, if I don't lift her up, I will fall down. Brother, I'm gonna lift my brother up, he is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my brother up, he is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my brother up, he is not heavy. If I don't lift him up, if I don't lift him up, if I don't lift him up, I will fall down. I'm gonna lift my children up, they are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my children up, they are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my children up, they are not heavy. If I don't lift them up, I hear y'all. If I don't lift them up, if I don't lift them up, I will fall down. I'm gonna lift my people up. You are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my people up. You are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my people up. You are not heavy. If I don't lift you up, if I don't lift you up, if I don't lift you up, I will fall down.
Dear ones, even if the world is on fire, we do have a faith tradition that we can lean on. We must take pause if our spirits are heavy. We can lift each other up in troubling times. As we go out from this place this week, may you know that you are enough, and together we can transform this aching and beautiful world. Go from this place knowing you are loved. Ashe, amen, and blessed be.
One more time, people. I'm gonna lift my people up. You are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my people up. You are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my people up. You are not heavy. If I don't lift you up, if I don't lift them up, if I don't lift them up, I will fall down.